Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another video. As you can see up here on the screen, we are looking at the Blue Eyes Invoke deck. And now, this is honestly, I've been playing this and been testing this and for like the past couple of weeks, kind of getting a feel for the deck. Because I do plan on playing this in paper along with Rise of Malice, but I want to specifically focus in on the Blue Eyes cards and how in the past month since the February release of the White Dusty structure deck, how this had reinvigorated Blue Eyes as a strategy and kind of focused in on it. For those of you who may not know, or who are, new to the game and, you kind of always recognize the fact that, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, this big boy right here, the big 3K vanilla staple monster of Yu-Gi-Oh, the face of Yu-Gi-Oh, realistically speaking. Um, Blue Eyes has always had a really interesting past in terms of, it's always been there. It's always been like super popular, but the strategies that kind of enable Blue Eyes are just never really been that good. But that's kind of the thing is like, we joke about we call it brick eyes, and for very good reasons. It's very good reasons. And for a long time, actually, I mean, go through all the competitiveness, but since let's just go back to 2016, 9 years ago. 9 years ago, we had shiny victors where we have some very powerful cards come out for the blue eye strategy because this is a time like where Dark Side of the Dimensions came out, big old, DM era movie, and everyone was geeking about it. I remember when it came out. I remember buying a ton of the gold secret rare movie packs. I was buying cubics at the time. Let's put it like that. And it's like a time where I just recently got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! And so, blue eyes was everywhere. We got the release of Chaos Max, Chaos Form, um, Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, you got Sage with Eyes of Blue, Master, and all this really good Blue Eyes support. And then it's just the thing about Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's just like, then like 2016 and Blue Eyes won Worlds in 2016, you know, what it took was kind of kneecapping everything else around it. But hey, it won Worlds. It won Worlds. Konami really wanted to win Worlds. But it's kind of funny because pretty much after the World's win in 2016, you end up coming back to a point where but this you end up coming back to a point where Blue Eyes, after the release of the ABC structure deck, Blue Eyes just fell off the map. Blue Eyes just pretty much disappeared and was just dwindling in numbers because the ADC stuff was just so much better. It was so much more consistent. It was better. It was consistent. You had better payoffs. You were consistent to get to the payoffs. Unity Hanger is a hell of a card. A equip B, B equip this get back this from graveyard. You know all of those. And that's pretty much how it is. And then through the years, Blue Eyes just been receiving a lot of supports. Most of it kind of mediocre. Some just straight up bad. Some good. Some good. We got in the past, we got Bing Machine Go was a pretty decent surgery, expensive for a very long time. Jet Dragon, but like a lot of and then True Light kind of being like the most recent support before the structure deck happened. And then you kind of realize that's like, but then it's like every single time through the ages after 2016, every single time Blue Eyes would show up, it always felt like a worse version of another deck. Now I know there's always people's like, Blue Eyes, oh, Blue Eyes can do well. And it's like, but then you see like the Blue Eyes and it's just like, oh, this is just Guard Dragon combo, except with Blue Eyes cards. I have to play a brick, multiple bricks in my deck. Or it's like, oh, it's just an Exceed spam deck that just, pull out level eights to make rate gates. Cool. Without the Photon Lord. Ooh, cool. And it's just like, boy, it's just always felt bad. And or you have the other one, the original version of the deck where it's like, oh yeah, let's make Chaos Mac. Oh, you can punch really hard and doesn't do anything else. And it's just that's kind of it. And it kind of is annoying when you want to like play, and I understand like the sentiment want to play a deck, but then the thing about the deck is just it always feels like a worse version of something else. The Guard Dragon is like, okay, cool. There's every deck can play Guard Dragon. This is the make Blue Eye special. You're just playing more bricks. The Rocket Engine was just so much better for that, and Blue Eyes and Dark Magician will always get support because, they're like the faces of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then, you get a lot of supports, and then the support feels bad. And it's just pack filler taking up high rarity spots for no reason other than, yeah, no reason. And it hurts. It sucks. You don't really want to see that, and there's no real good payoff. for playing Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes is just one of those decks where it's just like this deck kind of sucks and you don't really want to play it. And then if you do play it, it's just like, how casual the setting you're going to be in. And that's just kind of where you have to regulate it. Now, circa February 2025, we get the Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck, which on its own, on its own, the structure deck was amazing. Structure deck's just straight up amazing. The card list for the structure deck was so good that we get you get Ash, you get Nibiru, you get 3 different common Blue Eyes, you get Maiden, you get Imperms, Ash, Imperms, Veiler, Nibiru. And, just like most of this, like, you have common seals, you have, just some really nice cards as commons and lower rarity. And that doesn't even include and like and then not even talking about the new cards, but then it's just, as like a staple structure deck, it's good. It's really, really, really good. Like, it's really good, especially if you want to get back into the game, this structure deck, 3 structure decks, and you can have like, a very local competitive type of deck. And then you start adding more to it. You can add, pick your edge. I know people have been playing the Buster Blader, that I'm playing the Vote version. And then there's also there's also the most competitive version, the tier 1 version, which is the Primate version, which is admittedly kind of expensive right now. Though it is getting a reprint, but Barrel, we don't know when that's going to get another reprint. Hopefully soon, hopefully before the 10s. We'll have to see, because that just came out. I think it's Supreme Darkness, I believe. So you have the cards, but going over the card and what they enable is just so good. Starting with, the Lady of the Hour, Maiden of Light. So pretty much, reading its effects, it just goes ahead. You can pitch a card. You can pitch this to the graveyard, and you just go ahead and activate True Light from graveyard, from deck, from True Light from your hand, deck, or graveyard. That's really good. And True Light, is the Blue Eyes equivalent of Eternal Soul, which kind of does the exact same thing. Pull up Eternal Soul here. So Eternal Soul is just like, dark conditions in your monster unaffected by your opponent's card effect. If this card leaves the field, leave the face of card leaves the field, destroy all monsters you control. You can use the following effects once per turn. Either use special summon dark conditions from hand or grave, or add a dark magic attack or Knives and Knives to you from your deck to your hand. Now, Eternal Soul came out a while ago. I think it was part of like, certain structure deck, not structure, like the dark magician support. Its first effect is pretty solid. The second effect is pretty ass. The second effect is just awful. I'll be honest, with Dark Magic Attack or 1,000 Knives, you have to be willing playing 1,000 Knives or Dark Magic Attack. Now, the Blue Eyes version came out later, and it kind of reads the same. Your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone card effects. If this face of card is sent to the spell and trapped to the graveyard, destroy all monsters you control. You can only use the following effect of True Light once per turn. Special summon Blue Eyes from your hand and graveyard, or set one spell trap directly from your deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon in its text with a different name from the cards you control and in your graveyard. This is just a day and night difference. Because this is the day and night difference. Eternal Soul came out earlier, so they tried to balance it. But then it's just so bad. It's so bad. It's the biggest thing, because the thing about it, it's like, okay, it's unaffected by opponent's card effects. And it's like, you just like, while this gets like, blanket protection for Dark Magician, this is only targeting protection for Blue Eyes. But then everything else about this card is worse, because True Light allows you to set spells and traps that mention Blue Eyes, and that gets you to the other good cards in your deck. But the problem with this is that we never really had a way to get to it. Maiden fixed that problem. Maiden of Light is such a great card. This is, for those of you who know and those of you who've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, this is just a straight up retrain of the original Maiden, which we're going to pull up here. I never realized a lot of cards called Maiden. But here it is, Maidens with Eyes of Blue, where, all this card did was, this card came out in 2012, I believe, for the structure deck, the Azure Eye structure deck. Once again, if you're targeted for card effects, you special summon with Blue Eyes from anywhere. And then if you target for attack, you can go ahead and then, you can negate the attack. Then you get special blue eyes. So, it's like a targeted for attack, you get special blue eyes. So that's kind of what it is. It was your tuner. You got into level nines. This was kind of a cute card because, you kind of attacked it. It's like, oh, it's kind of scary. There's like, oh, they bring out blue eyes, which can be really annoying because it's just whenever any card targets it, so you can target it with your own cards, it triggers her off, and she goes to battle, and when she started for an attack, triggers off too. But while it was nice, it was still okay. It was still just an okay card. Now, Maiden kind of does the exact same thing, except now, you can pitch her off, you can send her to the grave, you can go ahead, you just get True Light. You get True Light for free, and then she's in the graveyard. And then the thing of cool, her next effect, I really like this one a lot. When Blue Eyes is special summoned, when Blue Eyes is special summoned from your graveyard, actually, no, when you use your special summon Blue Eyes, most times you're special summon from the graveyard. And she's gonna be grave, you can just bring her out. She's just a free body, and you go into your really good get access into your Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, which makes this really good. Which makes this a really, really good card that just allows you to go into this. And then it has a third effect where it's just like, hey, when a card or effect that targets this card on the field, when this card is targeted for an attack, guess what? Quick effect, special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon or one Light Tuner from your graveyard. Once again, she has a very similar recursion effect like Maiden or the special summon ability, except now she could do it from the graveyard or a Light Tuner. So this, allows you to extend further, and Light Tuners, you can get effect value, you can get Sage with Eyes of Blue. That's really good. So she just she's already like the glue, because Sage was already a really good card. This card came out in 2016. Sage was already a good card. Sage was already a good card because this search for any Light Tuner that would include things like Master. But honestly, you would probably just play Master. Or you can just grab Effect Failure. You had the ability to grab Effect Failure off of this, and it was just, really good, really solid normal summon, and then it has another effect where you could pitch this, target another card, and then send it in the special summon Blue Eyes monster specifically from your deck, which now includes Jet Dragon, which is also a pretty good card in its own right. But she's like the first card you think about is like, you have access to True Light. And then she's got your combo going because you get access, you just send her, you get access to True Light. True Light goes ahead, set a spell or trap, and you can start your combo from there, which leads to our next card, which is Wishes for Blue Eyes. Wishes for Eyes of Blue. This card's stupid. This card literally just says discard a card, discard outlet, add a level 1 Light Tuner, which you can also add Veiler off of, funny enough. If you use the extra hand trap, and one spell trap dimension Blue Eyes White Dragon. That's so good. That's just so good. It's just like, hey, anything that mentions the Blue Eyes, guess what? You can add it down. So you would typically add 4 off of this. You would either add, you would either Maiden, you would either add Sage, or you can add just Effect Killer, and you add Roar. Once again, you can add Bingo Machine if you really wanted to. But once again, it's just good card. It's just a good card. It's just like, once again, a very solid card. This is the card you ash. Like, you have to ash this. And then it has a bonus effect because, we're in 2025 Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything has to have a bonus effect. This bonus effect is like, you could equip a Blue Eyes monster, you target one Blue Eyes that you control, Blue Eyes White Dragon, because you have vanilla Blue Eyes on the field. And then you can, you attach Neo Blue Eyes, and then you can contact use into Tyrant. And then Neo Blue Eyes gives you targeting protection. Whenever, when targeting your Blue Eyes monsters or monsters you control, you can negate it, you can manage this card from the graveyard, negate and destroy. That's really good. That's a really, really, really good card. And then once again, you get your access, and you just say, hey, Fusion, you just go ahead, connect this, go into Tyrant Dragon, and just like wail and beat down on the board, and then set a trap. So you can go ahead and select True Life. It's unaffected by traps. So, it's just like a really good card in general. And once again, for Eyes of Blue, superb card, excellent card design. So, and then what it does, and pretty much what this does for the deck, it essentially makes, you have a consistent way of searching out your deck. One of the biggest problems Blue Eyes have always had was, oh, I have to go ahead and we have to use, trade in. Oh, I have to make sure to have my cards in hands. Sometimes I see blue eyes and it's literally just alternative paths. Or you have the stones. You have to play the stones, the egg, and just like all these cards that are kind of nothing on their own and need something to actually push forward without a card, and then you don't have it. This just prepares you. This just preps you. You just go ahead. You can literally send pitch this, activate this, face up on the field, use it as set wishes. Wishes go ahead, activate. You pitch and dead card in your hand, and then you go ahead. You add your sage, you add your roar, and then you go ahead, normal summon sage, search a card, and then it's like you just go into the next thing, and then you have the other cards that we got in the new structure deck, which is the Lake one. So as we know, the running joke of Yu-Gi-Oh is the fact that we have the the obligatory link one that searches the field spell, and lo and behold, this is the obligatory link one that searches the field spell. I love this card. I remember when this was revealed and everyone kind of had the same thought process. It's just like, oh, wait a minute. We get a card that converts any spellcaster or dragon into blue eyes combo. So when this goes ahead, you go, you normal summon your sage, you search off your sage, you'll link one into this, and then you're gonna grab this Mausoleum of White. And it's like, once again, during your main phase, target one, you can normal summon, you get additional normal summon for your level one light tuners, because you're always going to rank, you're going until the secret nines. And then you can target one face-up card you control, send one normal monster from your deck to grave. If you do, it beats attack. Not that matters, because okay, so here's like where the next part. So this once again has three effects. The actually gives you extra normal summon. It's Foolish Burial for normal monsters, which is great because this is how you get this out. You get access to your Blue Eyes White Dragon. But then it also has like the third effect, which we don't really care about because you can manage to add one burst of destruction. I'll be honest with you, that last effect is kind of worthless because no one's playing burst of destruction. No one's playing burst of destruction. That's such a meme card. It's cute, it's funny, but it's kind of memeish. But this is like you play one of this, you only really need it once. I mean, once again, if this stays up on the field, you get to just get an additional normal summon on top of your normal summon. So you can get, normal summon this, normal summon this. So you can normal summon in this particular instance, since I'm playing the invoked version, you normal summon Alistair. Alistair, go ahead and invocation. You go ahead, link off into the dragon. You get the Mausoleum. Mausoleum, go ahead, dump blue eyes. And then you do this next part where this also has another effect. So you can tribute this card and then special summon a blue eyes from your hand or graveyard. But if you do special summon an effect monster, it cannot attack and is effect or negated. So if you try to get, jets or anything that isn't just vanilla blue eyes, it's negated to kind of balance it, if you want to call it that. But pretty much like, barrel, you go into like the Prima Engine, barrel converts into this, after setting either your drill beam or your load. And then it's like, you just go into blue eyes combo, and then you have a way to go to blue eyes combo, and then it's like you get this extra normal summon. So no matter what you're playing, you always have an access to your normal summon for these guys. These guys, get your summon. Get your summon. You place that one, no more than playing needs to one. It's a good card. Very good card. Very nice card, actually. I like this card a lot. And once again, you just get your blue eyes in the grave, you tag out, you tribute this, especially on the blue eyes. There you go. And then if Maiden's already in the graveyard, guess what happens? Maiden comes right back out and you make your Synchro 9. Great card. Great card. This Link one, once again, it's just more of a glue to the strategy, because Blue Eyes has mostly, the biggest success it's had was more so as a synchro-esque type of deck because of this guy. And so this guy right here, which we're about to get to. So what this does, this kind of streamlines Blue Eyes into what it was doing in 2016. But we have one more card to go over, and that is the Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. This one goes ahead, special summon Blue Eyes monster from deck, graveyard, or banishment. If you control no Blue Eyes, you can only summon Blue Eyes. So it's like, if you have Blue Eyes already, if you have vanilla Blue Eyes in the field, you summon what you want to. But if you don't, then you have the summon Blue Eyes, which is not really that big of a deal. You just can't OTK your opponent because someone's in defense position. And And then it's just like, once again, you can do a few things with this. This locks you out. This does. If you use this, remember, it does dragon lock you for the rest of the turn after you use this. And then also allows you to fusion summon too. So I mean, you can use the fusion summon, but I don't really see that secondary effect coming up too much. At least personally, I have not used that secondary effect yet. Um, but overall, just really solid card. Just a free, it's just Monster Reborn, and it does from banishment, which is good because we have Bystials, and Bystials are very popular in the format due to Malice. Well, actually, everyone kind of plays Bystials. We get because of Malice plays Bystials, Ryzeo can play Bystials. Just pretty much Bystials are in the side deck. Bystials are just so good, so good. Which honestly, I want to add Bystials to this as well because I like having the Bystials. That's like another means of getting to seals. But it's kind of like, something there's been kind of more or less messing around with. But I really liked, but once again, Boris, just like another, another very good card on tutoring out Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes monsters. And this kind of, like, this redirects us back to our more focused deep. Like, it felt like Blue Eyes, kind of like Dark Magician, was just kind of just throwing itself in like 10 different directions. I mean, Red Eyes was like the worst with that. And so like the best version of Blue Eyes, was just adapting what it can do. Sometimes it was Help combos, other times it was Guard Dragon combos. Now it's focused back onto the Synchro deck, a majority of the Synchro deck, and just having very powerful dragons in your Synchro deck, starting with this guy. He also came out in Shiny Victors back in 2016, and this card is dumb. This card is very dumb. I like this card, but this card's stupid. It's so stupid. It just shows neither player can touch summon two or more monsters at the same time. Once per turn, during either player's turn, when an effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, you can negate the activation. During either player's turn, you contribute the synchro summon the synchro summon card, special summon one light dragon type synchro monster from your extra deck in defense position, except Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, destroy at the end phase. So remember when I was saying earlier about like how Blue Eyes One World was everything being recapped? This was also a huge contributor of that because that first line of text where neither player can summon special summon two or more monsters at the same time, that is there because of pendulum summoning. Because at this time, Pendulum, I believe it was Metal Foes, was a really good deck at the time. And when you Pendulum summon, what do? You span the board with all your Pendulum monsters from hand from hand and from the top of your extra deck. If you can't Pendulum summon, your entire span the board and go into crazy shenanigans does not work. This was effectively a floodgate for Pendulum decks. The second half of this effect, where it negates a card in the graveyard, was meant for Burning Abyss. This was literally meant for Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss sure was the deck that just did not die. How Dante never got banned is beyond me, or even limited in the TCG. Blows my mind to this day. But hide and seek champion for as long as Burning Abyss was relevant. But once again, Seer target Dante target Seer, shut that down. That's not happening. You're getting negated. Stop that. Like, stop. And then it tags out, and you just tag onto another, into like Azure Eyes was pretty popular. I believe, yeah, this was also pretty popular too, if I'm not mistaken. For Moonlit Dragon, and it was just so good. It was hard to get over. It was hard to beat over. Most common hand traps you didn't really play at this moment in time. Like, maybe to heal out the Veilers, Ash didn't exist, Imperm didn't exist, Droplets didn't exist, Callby didn't exist. There's just so many cards that did not exist. So if this card was in a better deck at that moment in time, like, this card would have been banned. I'm pretty sure this card would have been banned. This card would have been crazy. But once again, it's just generically good dragon monster. Very good dragon monster. Super good dragon monster. And now this is your main game plan. Typically, you would go ahead, you would get out two of these at the same time, and then you can tag one out into Crimson Dragon, and then tag the other one out into Blue Eyes. We're going to get to this. Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit, Crimson Dragon, you can tag into other into Cosmic Blazer Dragon, or you can tag into Stardust Seifer, Divine Dragon, which then would protect this from being popped in the end phase if summoned off of this effect. And then it's just like, you have negate and destruction protection for every time the first time a card would be destroyed. Then you have Omni negate. Or the other Omni negate. It's like, Or even better yet, or even this card right here, a new common that came out in Suda, that just pops spells and traps. Um, yeah, it could just be popped. It could just go in and pop spell and traps. And this is just a this is a funny card. This card just continues will always get better, and that's what I absolutely love about it. It's a really good card, and I absolutely love it. Which is why you play two or three of these. Very strong card. Then some of the other toolbox cards you have Spheres. Spheres is just generically good dragon support. Every dragon deck plays this card for a very good reason. Um, this is a card that just bounces cards, bounces cards, tributes special summons dragon from special summons special dragon from the deck, reducing its stats 0/0. You can get any dragon you need to get just to get it out. You can bounce something back. You can, protect your true lights. You can protect a lot. It's just old, naturally good deck, a naturally good card. It gives you access to the Primate engine. It gives you access to a lot of different things. Sales just always good. I miss playing Seals. That's why partly the reason why I started playing this deck again, started playing Blue Eyes, is because I wanted to play Seals. Because I really like Seals. Then you have Lightstorm Dragon, which is just the spell. Like when this card special summon, it's a spell trap destroyer. You just see up to the number of no monsters in your graveyard +1, so you can pop up to 3 cards at the same time. And this card's showed a parallel card effect, which it will be if summoned off a Spirit Dragon. You get to set a card, if I remember correctly. Yep. Then you can target one spell trap in your graveyard, set it, but cannot be activated unless you control a monster. So I mean, once again, you just True Light back out of Blue Eyes, and then you can go ahead and you can just activate whatever you set back. Synergy. And then the other than Crimson Dragon, this War Crime offensive card, once again, just being able to tag in, and it counts as a synchro summon. So you can just go ahead and cheat out Mr. Cosmic Blazer Dragon and just go ahead and just ruin your opponent's day, because Solemn Judgment on the 4,000 body that keeps recurring itself is simply just not a problem. And same thing for Stardust Thief. Cards are silly. This card literally never saw play. Funny story, I actually found this in my bulk because I opened up the 2017 Megatons and I looked for it. I found it. This is a $30 card right now. This is like a $30 card, $30 card. That's hilarious. Then we have our another big guy, Full Twin Spirit Dragon. So this card right here, your opponent cannot banish card from your graveyard. This card by itself shut down Bystials. That is hilarious. You have anti-Bystial tech, kind of what, this is like, modern day Spirit Dragon, which technically it is, because like, it's the ultimate dragon. And then, this one was preventing Pendulum and, any type of graveyard heavy decks from doing stuff. This one's just preventing Bystials in general. So like, once again, you tag into like, say, if so you're trying to get called by, you tag into this, they can't banish anything from your graveyard. So it turns off their Bystials unless it turns off the Bystials on your graveyard, which means they have to use their own resources to actually do stuff. That's actually really good. You can't get called by. So like your Ashes, your Veilers, while this is up on your field and not negated, they can't call by you. That's good. They can still cross out, but they can't call by you. They can't Bystial your cards. And that's a really good question. That's a really good thing. And then, next question is like, what does this do? And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, this also goes ahead and just negates. It's not negates. It's a Borolo Savage type negate. And then it like also gives 1,000 attack. Did it really need to do that? No, not really, because it's already at 3,500. But then in like, 4,500, because, the whole Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So it's like, okay, that's, that doesn't really come up too much, but it does happen because there's always something in defense position. And then once it's destroyed, which is most likely destroyed if it's summoned off the Spirit effect, then you can just go ahead and bring back a Light Dragon. Yeah, I think it's just it's just like any light. I'm pretty sure it's just one Light Dragon from your graveyard. So any Light Dragon that can be properly summoned. It must be, yes, minus these two, because these two have to be synchro summoned. A little bit annoying, but it's whatever. But you can just go ahead, bring back this guy. You can go ahead, bring back Spirit Dragon. You can go ahead, bring back Blue Eyes. You can bring back whatever you need to bring back when you special summoned. Card's really good. Card's really good. Very, 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 very solid card. And that's the thing, what I really like about what they did. They went the focus to be on Spirit Dragon. They went the focus to be on True Light to get Spirit Dragon to search and then be to pretty much kill you with Tyrant Dragon, which is why this does its thing to connect Neo Blue Eyes to go ahead, go into this, and then just murder everybody. And that's good because it keeps true to the whole theme of Blue Eyes just being an overwhelming, powerful force while giving it some modern sensibilities. I'm happy we don't have to keep pivoting between, oh, did I, opening, playing that Blue Eyes White Spirit or playing Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon and hope I can get it out or hope, finding a way to Blue Eyes. It's like, it just feels bad. That the old way of playing feels bad. Now you have more concise, you have a tighter engine that allows for hand traps and allows for a lot of, modern, just modern play. And not a lot of people like that. I understand because some people are like, oh, no, why are we only playing two blue eyes? We should be playing three blue eyes. But it's like, no, not really, because you only really need to alternate between two blue eyes. You have a way to stop banishing. You have a way to stop a lot of things. It's just like, you have a way to summon back from the banish. There's just so many ways of just playing with this, and I like this. Like, the shell of the Blue Eyes deck is pretty much 2 Blue Eyes, 3 Wishes, 3 Maiden, 3 Sages. You probably wouldn't play the Big Machines and, like, Primite. You're not gonna play Big Machine and Primite. 1 Mausoleum, and you just fill it out, and then also you have one other the Trap card, Majesty of the White Dragons, which is pretty much, just get the pop, and then it's like, it also has the second effect where you can ritual summon a monster from your hand by triggering Blue Eyes with Dragon from your hand or field. Uh this is obviously meant for Chaos Max. This is Chaos Max bait if I've ever seen it. I'm a prolific hater of Chaos Max. I think that card is ass. Crush cheeks. Has always been cheeks and will be cheeks. It was like, yeah, man, I get to summon a Chaos Max dragon. It's just like, oh, that's cool and all, but what does that do? Like, it doesn't do anything. The original monster is like, we're keeping that far away from here. This just goes ahead, it pops your opponent's field, and it feels good. And you just go ahead and just pop your opponent's field. You can go ahead, deactivate, very good trap card. You can set it off True Light if you don't need to grab any of these. Very good card. And after a month, Primate Blue Eyes definitely the best way to play this deck. Invoke Blue Eyes is kind of another budget because Alistair links into this. After you get invocation, you go ahead, especially somebody you can make a. If you really want to and follow up on the follow play, you can get up ladies and then go for the game. Now they really need to, but hey, it's just another thing. It's just another thing, just another light, monster you have access to. Yeah, but a month later, like they cooked. Like that's pretty much what's gonna happen. They have legitimately cooked they cooked so hard. And I'm so happy that we finally got a playable Blue Eyes that doesn't feel bad to play. It's just really, really good. It's just, it's like, once again, here we are. We got multiple hit traps qualify. Go ahead, activate you. True Light. We go ahead and we go and that is Cells Pillage Frat. Go ahead for Witches. Activate Wishes. We can go ahead and pitch the Baylor because we go ahead and we can add Sage. We can add War. And help some of the Sage. Sage, go back, add another Baylor. Spirit Dragon adds Mausoleum as her hand. Deactivate it. Go ahead, foolish that. Then we go ahead, activate. We go ahead, special summon Blue Eyes out the grave. Maiden activates. And if we really wanted to, we can also go ahead and start Neo Blue Eyes if we really wanted to. And then go ahead, make Spirit Dragon. Now, this part does get susceptible to mid, but then, hey, we just have another way to get more blue eyes. Let's spin the blue eyes again. And if you really wanted to, you get an extra normal summon. And then guess what? Go into that, activate you. If you go into ultimate, activate another one. Add Crimson, activate Crimson. And then start out Cipher. So it's like you have just different ways to do something, and it's just so it can play it low to the ground if you really wanted to, but then it's just like, oh, you can make some big ass dragons. I mean, the worst matchup I feel like we will have against this is like Malice. Definitely Malice. It's gonna hurt because Shifter is still in this game for some godforsaken reason. But overall, yeah, after looking at all these cards, after playing this deck, I can honestly say I'm happy Blue Eyes is in a place where it's not garbage. And I really mean that. I really, really, really mean that. It's not bad. It's surprisingly fun. It's pretty low to the ground. It can do a lot. It doesn't need it doesn't need like you have to play every Blue Eye support cards. Like the core of cards, like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 cards in this engine that you would play, and then like you have full on toolbox. And I think that Blue Eyes have done, Konami done a very good job. This was a fantastic structure deck and fantastic cards that came out of the structure deck. I hope to see more Blue Eye success in the future. I'd rather a deck like this than a deck like Atlantean Mermills because I hate that deck. That deck is actually cancer. But Blue Eyes, for the Blue Eye guys, for the Blue Eyes fans, and for returning players, because there's been a lot of returning players. Enjoy this deck. Be happy that it's meta relevant, and enjoy playing the deck. And guys, I'm super happy that we got this great structure deck. I hope that the next structure deck is just even close to the amount of just amazing value and overall amazing like card quality to come out of a set. I can't wait to see what happens in the future. Blue Eyes players keep on trucking. You guys, the strongest warriors, been holding out for almost 10 years for that glimpse of meta relevancy again. Congratulations. And guys, it's been a fun talking about this. And if I were to go ahead and give my review score for this new set, or well, just new structure deck, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, we'll play again. And I'm definitely have this in paper. It's super fun, super great. And I think it's very worthy for playing against Malice, Rise Heal, and Atlantean Blue Eyes. So now we have another contender that's on the cheaper side, and that can be played cheaper, can be definitely played cheaper than these guys. And then you have options at hand for making a better build. But great set, great cards. I'm only sad that I did not pick up the QC card for Spirit Dragons a lot sooner when they were like $12, and I had to shell out money for that, and I'm not happy. But minus that, it's been a fantastic deck, very, very fun deck, very malleable deck. When Primite gets cheaper, it's definitely gonna be the way to play. I'll probably end up picking up in the next few months or so. But overall, guys, it's been a pleasure going over this with you guys. Hey, take care. Have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe. And tell me how you feel about the new Blue Eye support. Peace out. Bye.